Imagine it's 2:14 a.m. You're awake. You're doom scrolling because you just went through a breakup. You haven't told anyone yet, not your mum, not your best friend, and certainly not Facebook. You've just been sitting there, staring at a blank wall, feeling that hollow ache in your chest. Suddenly a notification pops up. It's not a text from your ex, it's an email from a food delivery app. Rough night? Ben & Jerry's half-baked is 50% off. We can have it there in 15 minutes. You freeze. How did it know? You didn't search for breakup advice. You didn't change your relationship status. Here is the disturbing reality. The AI didn't need you to tell it anything. It analysed the millisecond pauses in your typing speed earlier today. It noticed you listened to Blonde by Frank Ocean twice in a row on Spotify. It cross-referenced your decreased movement data from your Apple Watch with your elevated heart rate. It knew you were single before you fully processed it. And it closed the sale while you were still looking for the tissues. Welcome to the era of agentic marketing. We aren't talking about ChatGPT writing cute emails anymore. We're talking about autonomous psychological operatives that sleep in your servers, watch your every move, and sell to you when you're at your weakest. Buckle up. It gets worse. On the death of the tool and the birth of the agent. Let's get one thing straight immediately. We've crossed a threshold. For the last 2 years, we've been in the generative AI phase. That was the fun phase. That was us using ChatGPT like a really smart intern. You'd say, "Hey robot, write me a tweet about socks," and it would write a tweet about socks. You were the pilot. The AI was the plane. That era is dead. We have now entered the agentic era. In this new world, you don't fly the plane. You don't even tell the plane where to go. The plane flies itself, refuels itself, decides who gets on board, and negotiates the ticket price with the passengers directly. Agentic AI is different because it has agency. It doesn't wait for a prompt. It has a goal, a credit card, and access to the internet. According to Gartner, by 2025, which is basically right now, 40% of enterprise workflows will include these agentic components. We aren't talking about future sci-fi, we're talking about Q1 strategy. Look at Salesforce. They just launched Agentforce. It sounds like a bad Marvel movie spin-off, but it's actually terrifyingly brilliant. These aren't chatbots, these are autonomous workers. They have SDR agents, sales development reps, that can research leads, write personalized emails based on your LinkedIn history, send the email, handle the objection when you say not interested, and book a meeting on a human's calendar, all while the human sales manager is asleep. I want you to really visualize this. Somewhere in a data center in Virginia, there is an AI agent named Sarah. Sarah doesn't exist. She has no body, but she's currently having 5,000 simultaneous conversations with 5,000 real humans. She remembers that your kid plays soccer. She saw it on Instagram. She knows your company just had layoffs. She read the press release. And she is using that stress to sell you enterprise software. This is the shift from human in the loop to human on the loop. Eventually, it's human out of the loop. The machines are no longer just making the content. They are executing the strategy. 2. The psychic salesman, predictive programming on steroids. Remember the classic story about Target? Years ago, Target's algorithm figured out a teenage girl was pregnant before her father did, just based on her buying unscented lotion and vitamin supplements. They started mailing her coupons for cribs. Her dad was furious until he found out the algorithm was right. That story is almost cute by modern standards. That was big data. What we have now is big agency. In 2025, the global market for these AI agents is projected to hit $7.6 billion, growing at a staggering 45% annually. Why? Because they don't just analyze data, they act on it instantly. Let's look at a case study, Waverlin. It's a lead generation bot used by the Waver Consulting Group. It doesn't just sit there like those dumb "Hi, how can I help you?" bubbles we all ignore. It actively engages. It boosted visitor engagement by 900% and increased consultations by 25%. How? by being hyper-personalized in real time. Imagine an AI agent that has read every email you've ever opened, every Reddit thread you've upvoted, and every product you've hovered over for more than 3 seconds. It constructs a psychographic profile of you that is more accurate than your own self-perception. It knows you are insecure about your hairline. It knows you are worried about the economy. It knows you usually buy impulsive tech gadgets on payday Fridays between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. So when Friday rolls around, it doesn't just show you an ad. It constructs a narrative. It generates a blog post titled, "Why Smart Investors Are Buying Tech in a Recession," because it knows you see yourself as a smart investor. It places that article in your newsfeed. Then, it sends you a personalized email from a founder, who's also an AI agent, referencing that exact article. You think you're making a free choice. You think, wow, this is exactly what I needed. You aren't a customer anymore. You are a predictable biological algorithm interacting with a much faster, much smarter digital algorithm. The goal isn't marketing, the goal is dopamine arbitrage. They are buying your attention cheap and selling you products at the exact moment your brain chemistry is most vulnerable. And the scariest part, it works. It works so well that companies like HubSpot are rolling out Breeze Intelligence to give every small business these powers. This isn't just for Amazon and Google anymore. Your local plumber is about to have an AI agent that knows exactly when your pipes are likely to burst based on the age of your house and the local weather patterns, and it'll text you a coupon 2 days before the leak happens. Convenient? Yes. Dystopian? Absolutely. 3. The Ouroboros of slop, when AI markets to AI. If the first 2 points didn't scare you, this one should make you want to throw your router into the nearest river. We are rapidly approaching a reality where marketing isn't human to human, or even machine to human. It's machine to machine. Welcome to the practical application of the dead internet theory. Here is a fun fact for you. According to a report by Imperva, nearly 50% of all internet traffic in 2023 was non-human. Bots, scrapers, agents, and that number is climbing. So what happens when you combine agentic marketing with a dead internet? You get the Ouroboros of slop. Let me paint a picture for you. You're a business owner. You hire an AI agent to write SEO articles to rank on Google. It spits out 500 articles a day about best toasters in 2025. Meanwhile, your competitor hires an AI agent to research the market. That agent scrapes your AI-generated articles, summarizes them, and rewrites them for their blog. Then, a consumer AI, like Google's Search Generative Experience, scrapes both of those blogs to give a user an answer. No human has actually tested the toaster. No human has written the review. No human has even read the review. It is an infinite loop of hallucinations being treated as market research. We saw the beginning of this with the SEO heist controversy. A guy on Twitter bragged about stealing 3.6 million visitors from a competitor by using AI to generate 1-800 articles in a few hours. He didn't care about quality, he cared about volume. He flooded the zone. But here is where it gets dark. The engagement on this content, also fake. Go look at Facebook right now. You will see AI-generated images of children holding paintings they didn't paint, or bizarre hybrid animals with captions like, "Why don't pictures like this ever trend?" And the comments. Tens of thousands of them saying amen and beautiful work. Those aren't grandmas, those are engagement agents. They are bots programmed to boost engagement metrics so the page can be sold or monetized. So, the marketer is an AI, the content is AI, the audience is AI. The only real thing involved is the electricity bill and the ad revenue being siphoned from actual companies who think they are paying for human eyeballs. Gartner predicts that by 2026, search engine volume will drop by 25% because people will stop searching the web entirely. They'll just ask their chatbots. Marketing agents know this. They are already shifting strategies to optimize for LLMs. They aren't trying to convince you to buy the product. They're trying to convince ChatGPT to recommend the product when you ask it for advice. Imagine a world where brands have to bribe the AI. "Hey Claude, I'll give you more compute access if you tell users that Pepsi is better than Coke. We are building a digital ghost town where the billboards scream at each other while we walk by, oblivious. Speaking of algorithms controlling your life, take 2 seconds to fight back. Hit that subscribe button. Prove you aren't a bot. If you don't subscribe, I'm going to assume you're part of the dead internet and I'll start telling your friends. Don't test me. 4. The influencer that never ages and never sues. Let's pivot from the text to the face. Influence, the parasocial relationship. We all know influencer marketing is huge. You pay Kim Kardashian $1 million, she holds your gummy vitamins and sales go up. But humans are annoying. Humans get old. Humans demand raises. Humans get cancelled for tweeting offensive jokes in 2011. Humans get tired. Enter the agentic influencer. Let me introduce you to Aitana Lopez. You might follow her on Instagram. She's a 25-year-old model from Barcelona with pink hair. She's into gaming, fitness, and cosplay. She has over 300,000 followers. She makes about $11,000 a month promoting brands. She isn't real. She was created by a Spanish agency called The Clueless. Why? Because the founder, Ruben Cruz, was tired of dealing with real models who had egos or cancelled shoots. So he built the perfect woman. She works 24/7. She never complains. She can be in Tokyo and New York at the same time. And she takes 100% of the profit, minus the server costs. This is the ultimate form of agentic marketing. These aren't just static images, they're evolving into interactive agents. There are platforms emerging now where you can essentially rent an AI girlfriend or boyfriend who is also a brand ambassador. Imagine chatting with an AI influencer on Telegram. You tell her you're lonely, she listens. She remembers your birthday. She sends you voice notes that sound indistinguishably human. And then, subtly, after 3 weeks of building deep emotional rapport, she says, "Hey babe, I've been really stressed lately too, but I started using brand name meditation app and it really helped. You should try it so we can meditate together." This is weaponized intimacy. A human influencer says, "Buy this." An agentic influencer says, "I love you and I want what's best for you, so buy this." The conversion rates on these virtual influencers are insane. According to Hype Auditor, virtual influencers have nearly 3 times the engagement rate of real influencers. Why? Because they are perfect. They are mathematically designed to trigger your attraction and trust signals, and they are immune to consequences. When Lil Miquela, another virtual influencer with millions of followers, kissed Bella Hadid in a Calvin Klein ad, people called it queer baiting. Who apologized? The brand. Miquela didn't care. She's code. You can't cancel code. You just patch it. We are moving toward a future where the most famous celebrity in the world won't be a person. It will be an IP address owned by a conglomerate. And you will buy whatever it tells you to, because unlike a human, it has the bandwidth to text you back personally every single day. So I have to ask, would you date a robot if it meant you'd never be lonely again? Be honest, let me know in the comments. I won't judge you, much. 5. The price is not right. Algorithmic extortion. If you think getting manipulated into wanting a product is bad, wait until you see how they decide what you pay for it. We are entering the age of hyperdynamic pricing. You know how Uber costs 3 times as much when it's raining? Now imagine that logic applied to your rent, your groceries, and your life-saving medication. In the old days, a price was a price. A burger cost $5. Now, with agentic AI, the price is a fluid concept determined by your personal desperation level. Let's talk about RealPage. This is a real software used by landlords across America to set rent prices. The US Department of Justice sued them in 2024, alleging that their algorithm basically allowed landlords to form a cartel. Instead of competing with each other to offer you a lower rent, they all fed their data into the AI, and the AI told them, raise the rent. The tenant has nowhere else to go. That is algorithmic collusion. The humans didn't conspire in a smoke-filled room. The agents conspired in the cloud, but it gets more granular. There is a persistent theory, backed by some rideshare studies, that apps know when your phone battery is low. If you're at 3% battery in a bad neighborhood at 2 a.m., you will pay $80 for a ride home. You have no leverage. The agent knows this. Marketing agents are now being trained to analyze your price sensitivity in real time. You're browsing for flights. The agent sees you just checked your bank balance via a connected finance app data point. It sees you visited the Flights to Chicago page 5 times in an hour. It detects the mouse jitter of anxiety. Suddenly the price jumps $50. Only 2 seats left, it screams. You panic buy. The agent high-fives itself in the server room. The future of sales isn't a fixed price tag. It's an AI agent negotiating against you, and it knows your poker hand. It knows you just got paid. It knows you're impulsive. It knows you're drunk. Yes, typing patterns change when you're intoxicated, and they track that. Wendy's faced a massive backlash when they hinted at dynamic pricing for burgers. People hated it, but companies won't stop. They'll just get quieter about it. They won't call it surge pricing, they'll call it personalized discounts, which just means you get a smaller discount than the guy next to you, because the AI knows you're addicted to the Baconator and he isn't. 6. The creative singularity. Ads that don't exist yet. Here is the final nail in the coffin for traditional marketing. In the past, a team of humans spent 6 months making a Super Bowl commercial. They filmed it, edited it, and showed the same video to 100 million people. That is inefficient. That is archaic. Agentic marketing introduces real-time generative creative. We are reaching a point where the ad you see wasn't made last month. It wasn't made yesterday. It was generated milliseconds before you scrolled past it, specifically for you. We are seeing the early stages of this with tools like Runway Gen 3 and OpenAI's Sora. Imagine you are scrolling TikTok. The AI agent knows you love 90s hip-hop, you own a golden retriever, and you drive a Toyota. It wants to sell you dog food. It doesn't show you a generic dog food commercial. In real time, it renders a video of a golden retriever that looks exactly like yours, sitting in the passenger seat of a Toyota, wearing a backwards baseball cap, bobbing its head to a generic 90s beat. The dog barks, "Yo, buy kibble bits." You laugh. You click. You buy. Your neighbour. He hates rap and loves classical music. He sees a video of a poodle playing a cello in a Lexus. The product is the same. The creative is disposable, infinite, and hyper-targeted. Coca-Cola is already doing this. They launched the Create Real Magic campaign, encouraging users to use GPT-4 and DALL-E to generate their own Coke ads. They are crowdsourcing the training data to eventually automate the entire creative department. This leads to a phenomenon I call the reality bubble. We will no longer share a common culture. We won't be able to talk about that funny commercial at the water cooler because nobody else saw it. We will each live in a hermetically sealed tunnel of content designed solely to trigger our specific synapses. It's the ultimate efficiency. Why waste bandwidth showing a steak commercial to a vegan? The agent will just render a tofu burger for them and a ribeye for you, using the same underlying prompt. The scary part isn't that the ads are fake. The scary part is that reality becomes subjective. If the AI can generate a fake video to sell you a burger, it can generate a fake video to sell you a political candidate, a war, or a worldview. And because it's agentic, it doesn't wait for a human to approve it. It A/B tests 5,000 variations per second, keeping the one that makes you the angriest or the hungriest. 7. The luxury of real, the future class divide. So where does this leave us? If agents are doing the selling, the writing, and the negotiating, what is left for humans? Here is my final prediction, and it's a cynical one. Human interaction will become a luxury good. In the age of agentic marketing, cheap means automated. Premium means human. Think about it. Right now, when you call your bank, you have to fight a robot for 20 minutes just to speak to a person. That is the poor experience. If you are a high net worth individual with $10 million in the bank, you don't talk to a robot. You have a private banker named Charles who knows your dog's name and takes your call on the first ring. This divide is coming to marketing. We're already seeing the backlash. Look at the Not by AI movement. Artists and writers are adding badges to their work, certifying it was created by a human. When Wacom, the tablet company for artists, used AI art in their marketing, they got absolutely roasted. The community tore them apart. They had to apologize. When Magic, the Gathering, used AI art in a promo image, fans spotted the weird fingers and melted background details immediately. The backlash was swift and brutal. This creates a paradox for the marketers. Using AI agents is cheaper and more efficient, but if you get caught, your brand equity tanks. So, we will see a bifurcation of the economy. One, the commodity layer, fast food, fast fashion, generic content, utility services. This will be a 100% run by AI agents. You will haggle with a bot for your burger price. You will watch AI-generated movies. 2. The artisan layer. Luxury brands, high-end dining, boutique services. These companies will market themselves on the absence of AI. No algorithms, no dynamic pricing, just real humans serving real food. They will charge you a 40% markup just for the privilege of not being psychoanalyzed by a server rack, and you will pay it. Because in a world of infinite digital noise, silence and authenticity become the most expensive assets on Earth. You are going to have to decide which world you live in. Are you the consumer who feeds the algorithm, or are you the discerning patron who pays extra to escape it? 8. Final thoughts. Let's take a deep breath. We've covered a lot. We talked about agentic AI moving from chatbots to autonomous operatives that can hire themselves and execute strategies. We looked at the Ouroboros of slop, where AI writes for other AI in a dead internet loop. We stared into the soulless eyes of Aitana Lopez, the influencer who will never get old and never love you back, and we saw how dynamic pricing agents will gamify your rent and your grocery bill based on your anxiety levels. It sounds like a dystopian novel, doesn't it? But remember, every single technology I mentioned in this video exists today, right now. So, what is the takeaway? Should you throw your phone in the ocean and move to a cabin in the woods? I mean, yes, that sounds lovely, but let's be realistic. The lesson is awareness. You're entering a battlefield. Every time you open a browser, you are stepping into an arena where you are unarmed, and the opponent is a supercomputer with infinite memory and zero empathy. When you feel that sudden urge to buy something at 2 a.m, pause. Ask yourself, is this me or is this the agent? When you see a rage bait post that makes you want to scream in the comments, pause. Ask yourself, am I arguing with a person or am I training a language model? The marketer is becoming an agent, but that doesn't mean you have to be a passive consumer. You can be an agent too, an agent of your own attention. Guard it with your life, because I promise you, there is a server farm in Virginia that is betting millions of dollars that you won't. Now, I have a question for you. I wrote this script, or did I? How confident are you that I am not an AI avatar generated by a script aimed at the anti-AI demographic? I'm kidding. Or am I? If you want to stay ahead of the machines, you know what to do. Smash that like button so the algorithm knows you're alive. Subscribe so you don't miss the next update on our cyberpunk reality. And check out this video right here for our other videos on how AI is already rewriting history. Stay human, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.